Welcome! This video essay will take a brief look at Greek director Yorgos Lanthimos' 2015 dystopian film The Lobster. Yorgos Lanthimos is a Greek director well known for creating bizarre films such as Dogtooth, Alps, and most recently, The Favourite. Most notable about Lanthimos is that he is notorious for a wild imagination and a sometimes aggressive form of absurdism. With his unique styling, starting from his days of making advertisements and short documentaries with tight budgets, he has brought similar principles into his film process. With his provocative films, he tries to take his viewers to difficult, occasionally frightening places, not as a way to shock them, but rather to start discussions about what are considered norms in society. His 2015 film The Lobster is a good representation of his style. This film tells the story of David, a bland, boring single man in a dystopian near future where single people, according to the laws of the city, are taken to the hotel where they are obliged to find a romantic partner in 45 days or they will be transformed into animals and sent off into the woods.
And the dog?
My brother, he was here a couple of years ago, but he didn't make it.
Lanthimos satirizes the societal pressure to be in a romantic relationship. He exposes the absurdity of real-world social norms by recontextualizing them in a nightmarish dystopian society.
Because we have a new couple. They met just 2 days ago, but they're very much in love and perfectly suited. They both have the same problem with their noses. They bleed quite suddenly.
Juxtaposing the familiar with the strange, a technique that situates the director within the surrealist tradition. In one particular scene, David's partner, the heartless woman, has killed his brother, a dog. David gets caught as he pretends to have no emotions about it in order to sustain their relationship with the heartless woman so he can get out of the hotel. She wants to report him to management, but he takes matters into his own hands by tranquilizing her and turning her into an animal before she can turn him in. This scene is particularly interesting because it illustrates the Kafkaesque estrangement present in Lanthimos' films. Let's break down the scene. First, mise en scène. The Lobster was filmed entirely on location. This scene in particular is set in the hotel and mostly takes place in the hallways. The decor of the hotel is minimalistic and sterile, making it look like an institution rather than a hotel. The setting clinically emphasizes the absurdity of forced partnership in a world where being single has to be cured. Additionally, for the chasing scene, Lanthimos uses the repetitive, uniform spaces of the hallways to further estrange the viewer from the location. It becomes difficult to recognize new spaces and it works disorienting. Since Lanthimos' history in documentary filmmaking, he rarely uses artificial lighting, resulting in using the natural lighting of the hotel while filming. The effect of this is either a highly contrasted image, like in these shots of the heartless woman in front of the big windows. Her face and her expression are literally left in the dark. Later, in the bathroom, she is positioned again in front of the light, making her look like a silhouette. On the other hand, the natural lighting inside the hallways causes an almost opposite effect, making the spaces very flat yet realistic, juxtaposing the absurd, surreal state of society. The acting in the scene is very reflective of the overall tone of the entire film. The acting is very static. The characters display very little facial and bodily expressions, almost like mannequins. Monotone voices are used and the dialogue is delivered in an emotionless, formal manner, which distances the characters from each other emotionally and adds to the absurd estrangement for the audience.
I knew you were lying. I can't understand why you did it, when you know as well as anyone that a relationship cannot be built on a lie. We're going to the hotel manager right now, and you'll get the punishment you deserve.
What's the punishment for this?
They turn you into the animal no one wants to be.
Additionally, the script, as well as the narration, is very literal, matter-of-fact, and redundant.
You have to shoot me, so they won't suspect I helped you.
A hotel maid helped him. He couldn't understand why she did it.
The combination of the static acting, monotone speech, and literal script calls for a deadpan, strangely humorous delivery of outlandish dialogue.
I killed your brother. I left him to die very slowly. He may not be dead yet even as we speak. I was kicking him for ages.
It doesn't matter.
The costumes and design consist mainly of blue hues, monochromatic and organic floral motifs, which often blend seamlessly into the color scheme of the hotel. In this scene, the blue of the hotel room and the costumes harshly contrast with the heartless woman's bloody foot, and later with the black and white of the dog in the bathroom laying in its own blood. As a rule of the hotel, women are all forced to wear the same 50s-60s style dresses, while the men wear quite formal dress pants and blazers. By dressing all the men the same and all the women the same, characters are reduced to their defining qualities, gender duality and the one unique, partner-attracting character trait of each individual. Now for the cinematography. While filming, the camera is commonly placed further away from the action on screen, static and centered using longer lenses. Selective focus is used to steer the viewer's attention to the important part of the action. Alternatively, deep focus is used in combination with long shots in order to alienate the viewer, making them experience the film world as a distant observer rather than a participant.
It's no coincidence that the targets are shaped like single people and not couples.
Onto sound. In this scene, the diegetic sound consists mostly of dialogue and the soft muffled breathing and footsteps of the characters, both off and on screen.
I saw your partner running back that way. He looked frantic. Is everything okay?
In The Lobster, Lanthimos uses a selection of classical violin pieces as the non-diegetic music. Two pieces stand out and are used several times throughout the film. Lanthimos uses Shostakovich String Quartet and its three jarring, repetitive violin chords to signify an emphasis in the action occurring. This becomes a leitmotif, which is also present in this particular scene.
Hello, David.
Hello, Robert.
What you did to that woman was dreadful.
Additionally, Lanthimos uses Beethoven String Quartet No. 1 in F major at the end of the scene as another leitmotif to accompany the narration. The narration? What the fuck? I'm gonna do that again. Additionally, Lanthimos uses Beethoven String Quartet No. 1 in F major at the end of the scene as another leitmotif to accompany the narration.
So he decided to turn her into an animal. He dragged her to the room where the transformations took place. I asked him many times what sort of animal he turned her into, but he always gave me the same answer. That's none of your concern.
So there we have The Lobster, one of Yorgos Lanthimos' more absurd films that through its unique film style creates a Kafkaesque estrangement that causes for a unique cinematic experience. Hope you enjoyed and thank you for watching.